Yes, people, we're here outside the Emirates Stadium. It's the match preview for Arsenal versus West Ham, a fixture over the last 2 years that has caused me some absolute nightmares. And to discuss it with is none other than a fan favourite of the channel, West Ham Fan TV, Lawless Live. Dan Lawless, how are you, bruv?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Sunny
Back
day.
here. Yeah.
Weekend is going to be massive.
Huge.
And it's the Declan Derby, as your fans like to call it.
Yeah.
And for the last 2 years,
I
in
think
all
that was me
seriousness-
who christened it the Declan.
It was
Derby.
you
I
actually,
think
and
I
it's kind of
actually-
taken off actually, because I've heard a few West Ham fans say it
Really?
as well, yeah. But I've got to be honest, the last 2 years has not been pretty, bruv, and it's not been good this fixture for us. Yeah, I'm not feeling it because of your new manager now. The new manager bounce is here. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible to beat you because I think we will win the game. However, I want to get your thoughts because you've now seen our West Ham under Nuno against Everton the other night. Did you see a massive change from Potter already, or has it been a bit same old, same old?
Yeah, I saw a change. Honestly, I looked at that, and mate, my opinion on Potter is has really gone down. I mean, he is a fraud. He's an absolute fraud of a manager. Like Tony Bloom, honestly, he needs to really thank him for his whole career, to be honest, what he's done since then, the jobs that he's got. Because, in a couple of days, we look so much more organised. Ward-Prowse didn't even make it on the team coach. Didn't even go.
And he was playing for you all the time, right?
He was
under
like
Potter.
playing 90 plus minutes. He was like vice captain, everything. Like, I don't know what it was.
Must have been previous to what he'd done at Southampton, though, because when they get like, I would call this Southampton tax. Like he was good at Southampton, so he must still have it.
Do you
here.
know how long
he
ago
would have been
that
good
was?
10 years ago, exactly.
Yeah, that
now
was so long.
you need to move on from him, man. Suchek and Ward-Prowse in midfield, without being too rude, that's not going to do anything for
This
any
is
club,
what he
man.
played against Spurs. Freddie Potts, he plays. Your relative.
Good surname, man.
Yeah.
Good surname.
He was playing in pre-season. He was looking sharp, looking good. Potter was playing him, and all of a sudden the season starts and he's nowhere to be seen. Comes on against Everton, does not look out of place. So you just sit there and wonder, what is this guy doing? There's nothing about him. He's just completely comes across so weak. And I look at Nuno and I see the passion, right? And I see the cogs turning when we're going 1-0 down. I see him chatting away, and I can get behind that. Potter should never work in the Premier League again unless it's Man United.
Do you think he'll get another Premier League job?
He's linked with Man United.
Is he
I do
actually?
hope he
Man,
goes. I
that'd be
do
hilarious.
hope he goes there. If he goes there, mate, it'd be brilliant.
I think,
'Cause,
if I'm honest, I think Potter, when he was at Ostersund, he came here and we played really well. I thought, it was this guy, like he's English apparently. Then he went to Swansea, and then all of a sudden he's gone into Brighton, and I thought he was excellent at Brighton. The thing is, I would say this: when De Zerbi went into Brighton, they were actually better than they were under Potter. I think they went through something like 9 games and didn't score a goal or something crazy like that, right? So it is quite a defensive kind of manager. I think he'll get another job, but I think he might have to go down to a Swansea or Saint level because I think he'll start again, if I'm honest. That Chelsea move ruined him, if I'm honest. That was not the right move for him. I think the job was way too big for him. And he come to West Ham, and I thought at the time, this is a chance for him to actually bring some of his Swansea and Brighton sort of system back because it worked there, right? But I don't think it worked for him, man. I think he had to go. But the appointment of Nuno, I like that, by the way. I think it's a good appointment. Is the system going to change? Is it going to be the Nuno back three? Are you going to go to a Nuno system like he did at Forest? Because he's done both. Wolves was a back three with obviously Doherty and Aït-Nouri, was it? And then obviously you've got his system at Forest, which was brilliant last season. It's got to be said.
Yeah.
Can he install that at West Ham with the players you got?
Yeah, I think he's going to try and do more of what he did at Forest. He played a back four against Everton. So I think it's going to be one of them things of you may see the back five, maybe this weekend. If we're really going to a team that's got the firepower, then as and when. I didn't like the back five under Potter. I thought it was terrible. He was leaking goals for fun anyway. Back five, back four, whatever. So against you, I think he's a sort of manager where he'll change it up a bit. If I was him, listen, I would just stick with what we did against Everton because we were defended well for the most part, apart from Mavropanos, who does turn into the superstar against Arsenal.
He did last time.
Yeah.
Last time it was a nightmare actually playing it. But I actually quite liked him when he was here. I thought he was a young player that was had potential. Ain't quite worked out from the levels that I think he wanted to get to, but I don't think he's been bad for you. But in terms of the actual Nuno appointment, I think a lot of Arsenal fans were like, "Oh, really?" Like we all wanted Potter because it would have been like it looked easy. You looked terrible. It looked like it was easy to walk past you. Apart from against Forest, funny enough. But I do think that there is something about Nuno that some teams can get Nuno'd against. We saw it last season with Liverpool at Anfield. They got Nuno'd. And let's be real, Forest last season did it against quite a few teams. And we found it difficult. Beat them here quite comfortably, but at their place we found it tough. I think there's a lot of clubs that went there, a lot of teams that went there and struggled. So I think West Ham need to be that club again. Because for too long, bruv, especially against London clubs, you've been the battering boys, bruv.
Yeah,
You've held
it's a
5s
joke.
and 6s and 4s against teams that, let's be real, banter you anyway. Even if it was 1-0, they'd banter you. So do it by 4s and 5s. I don't know, man.
Honestly,
It's a madness.
Lopetegui into Potter are probably the 2 back-to-back worst managerial appointments of all time. Like, definitely up there. And look, certainly for West Ham, but up in the league, I don't know if a club has made 2 in a row like that. Terrible appointments. So yeah, hopefully Nuno can change that, because honestly, I look into this game, and all I want to at least see, even if we're going to lose, I want a performance. I want it to make it hard for Arsenal. We've been making it too easy. Chelsea, it was so easy for them. Spurs, it's too easy. Like, if you're going to win this game, you got to work your asses for it till the end. That's what I want to see. Obviously, I want to win. A point would be great. So yeah, Nuno, the big thing that worries me is the set pieces. Set piece FC, Spicy Stoke.
Spicy Stoke. Man.
That's who we're against this week. And we are the anti-set piece. That's our kryptonite. We are so bad at set pieces. We've conceded 8 set pieces already. The record in a season, apparently, is 16 set pieces conceded in a whole season.
You're on track for that, bro.
We're on track. Like, if we was still under Potter, we'd have broke that by Christmas.
But will you know under Nuno now change that up? Because surely that's something to look at. Like in our 11 goals we've scored this season, 8 have been from set pieces, which proves that we have a great opportunity.
You've scored 8 set pieces,
and
we've
you've let in.
conceded 8.
It's a good omen, right? So look, you've got to change that up. Like, in all seriousness, I think Nuno, for me, I think the West Ham fans are going to look at that scenario and think there's potential for it to be a hello, we're being joined here. So I think for me, the Nuno situation, I don't know what fans think of it. I don't know if fans are for it, unsure about it. But if he can emulate what he did at Wolves and Forest, which is, let's be real, take them to European places or European qualification, which he's done now, that's what you want back at West Ham, which you and I have always said is what David Moyes did do well. Right?
Yeah.
You want it to be taken back there, right?
Yeah, look, I've said this. If he can do what Moyes did in that period of time, right, over the first 3 seasons, then I'm happy. The thing is with that style of football is it has a shelf life. And Moyes recognised that, because teams stop, disrespecting you in a way. They start to respect you more. They start to sit back. What do you do when a team doesn't want to just take the ball and they let it go? No, you have the ball. You do something with it. And then you try to break us down. And Moyes tried to change it. And when he did try to change it, you saw what we saw in them last 2 seasons where, we were honestly getting battered because we didn't know what to do. So that was happening under Moyes. And he couldn't find a way to transition from a counter-attacking team to a possession-based team. And that's why we struggled. And Nuno, like I said, I'll be happy if we can get 3 years solid out of him and then progress. Problem is with Moyes, this is a problem in football, we end up getting rid of managers when it completely implodes. So now someone's got to pick up the pieces. You never go, okay, it's at a decent, stable place, now we'll make the
It's always
change.
left in a mess.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll rebuild and rebuild. But I think, on Nuno, especially this game, one of the first things he has to look at and come in, and I think he will, is the set piece vulnerability. We conceded another one against Everton, although it weren't directly a corner, it passed around, went around. But I mean, that was just embarrassing. That can be fixed. But it's basic shit. Mavropanos. If you're Keane and I'm Mavropanos, right, and the ball's coming in this way, he was like this distance away, and he's jumping. What are you fucking jumping for, you idiot? He's in front of you.
Yeah, it's done.
He just needs to hit him on the head, and then he's got it.
That's just basic defending.
Basic.
That's poor. That's just poor defending.
That's what I'm saying. So even Nuno commented on that, and that's something he has to work on. If we can get them set piece defending, because I think we defended the set piece as well against you last season.
Yeah.
It's just about getting that personnel right. So the counter-attack is, I think, going to be our weapon against you.
Okay. Well, look, we'll get into the game in a minute, but I've got to ask you about the Sullivan situation, because I have zero understanding about what is happening, but I think it's good that you're at least trying to do some form of movement. I see you're on Talk Sport and I see you're on Sky Sports, and they're all trying to bait you and banter you about it. I actually disagree with them. I think you need to be doing something about it as a fan base. I think you need to unite. I know there's definitely going to be certain parts of the fan base that are going to be seeing it as toxic because you can't get the owners out, just get behind the team and all that. We've got that at this club as well.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of the West Ham fans would agree that David Sullivan is a bad owner. And you need to now look at how you progress. Now, I think still that David Moyes did a great job. But at the end of the day, when you're going to be moving on Moyes and bringing in a manager like Lopetegui, and then sacking him and bringing in a manager like Potter, I think the Nuno appointment's good, but at the same time, shouldn't you have just gone for a better manager when David Moyes was removed? And this is what I didn't get at the time. I'm not going to start giving names of of managers you should have got, but there were managers out there. Look at Palace with Glasner. Look what they've done. So look at Iriola with Bournemouth. Like, these are managers that West Ham, in my opinion, should have been going for.
Yeah, 100%. Like we could have potentially tried to get Thomas Frank before Spurs were ever, go and slap some money down to Brentford. But this is the problem. He doesn't pay managers out their contract. And I even said, a lot of people give me smoke, even on your channel, right? Oh, Moyes, you wanted Moyes out. I said in Moyes' last season in the summer, back him or sack him. Give him a new deal or get rid of him now. Don't let managers go in the last year of their contract because players have that uncertainty. They don't know what's going on. That trickles down. We've interviewed Kevin Nolan, right? We had Kevin Nolan who had it under Big Sam. He played under Big Sam and knew what it was like. And he was on Moyes' coaching staff and knew what it was like. Both times, by Christmas, we was up there and then finds out, no, we're not staying. And then it derails the season. That's on the ownership, because he doesn't want to have to pay managers off. You don't want to sack them and pay them out. And that's the problem. Because you're penny pinching, we never get the best managers. And the managers we do have, you don't get the best out of them. Big Sam, we was top 4 at Christmas. He was in the top 4 playing some of the best football I've ever seen in West Ham. Because he said to Big Sam, if you want to keep your job, you play the West Ham way. You play attacking football.
What is that? What is the West Ham way? Because like Jamie O'Hara questioned you on it.
Yeah.
And said, what does that mean? I don't know if I know what that means. Because I've seen you play so many different ways in the last 2 decades that I don't know what it is.
Well, like on West Ham Fan TV, I interviewed Clyde Best, West Ham legend, and he summed it up perfectly. Ron Greenwood instilled it. Manager, back in the 60s, 1-2 touch passing, fluid movement, that sort of stuff. Getting the ball to the other end as quick as possible, right? But I think a lot of West Ham fans, it evolved. Like for West Ham fans, we always want to see players work hard, work great, right? Whether if we played you at your ground, right, last season, we didn't have a lot of the ball. You had a lot of the ball, but guess what? We fucking worked our asses off. We worked for that win. So at the minimum, bare minimum, we want to see that. And when we're seeing, like later under Moyes, under Lopetegui, pass it sideways, pass it backwards. Like that's the antithesis of what we want to see.
Well, who was the last manager to do this? As West Ham.
Slaven Bilic.
Okay.
I'd say Slaven.
He was
Bilic.
linked with a job again, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Slaven Bilic. Especially that last season at Upton Park, unbelievable football. And then the year before, Big Sam can do it. And it was brilliant, and it worked. Would you rather play attacking football and get relegated or play defensive football and be up there? We were playing attacking football under Big Sam and we were in the top 4, but they didn't want to give him it. They wanted to get rid of him. And Alan Pardew played it, Gianfranco Zola played it, Harry Redknapp played it, Billy Bonds, John Lyle. So we've come accustomed to a team that wants to go and attack, wants to go and it's we're not asking every game. But the problem is under Moyes a lot of the time, before Stoke got relegated, I'll never forget this, Stoke at home. And we're sitting back, playing defensive. And I was like, nah. That was right.
But if it wins you games, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
If it don't win you games, you end up frustrated. Yeah. Because one thing I banter you about Moyes, because I think he genuinely was unbelievable for West Ham, for what he did, right? When I look at it, when you're not winning games, and we've had it here, 0-0, playing back, sitting back, set piece FC, when you do that and you don't win, I totally am with fans saying, what is the point of this? You might as well go and give it a go and lose anyway if you're not winning and you're not losing, right? So I think with Moyes, it wasn't getting rid of him that was so much the issue, although I do think it was harsh because I think he did a great job. It was who you replaced him with. That was the big issue. And that does come down to the owner. That does come down to the ownership.
And we knew he was going from January. Like, he weren't going to sign a new deal. We knew it was happening, and you had all this time to get the succession plan, and Julian Lopetegui was your guy.
Nah,
Like,
that's awful.
That's the
That's
problem.
horrific.
But yeah, like I said, we can play. This is what I'm saying with Nuno. As long as it's successful, then it's good. You cannot play defensive football and lose 6-0. Like, and that's the thing. People want to sit there, oh, but he was playing about football. That's what I said to O'Hara. We weren't complaining about the defensive football when we were 6th in the league, right? We weren't. It's when we're getting battered by you lot, 6-0, Chelsea 5-0, Palace 5-2, whatever it is, Fulham 5-0. Then, of course, why the fuck are we playing defensive football when getting battered? Might as well just go for it. And that's where my issue was, massively. Like, if I'm going to be down in the dumps, right, in the bottom half of the table, at least fucking entertain me. You know what I mean? You're not going to give me any Europe to look forward to. You're not going to give me any trophies. So at least let me enjoy watching my football team.
No, that's fair.
And that's the
No,
minimum.
that's fair.
'Cause
So how are your fan base going to get him out then? This is what I don't get.
Yeah, look, so obviously we started the protests. I was at the first protest this season, which was good. About 3,000 fans there singing, chanting outside the gates, got media attention. We got a boycott at Brentford coming up on Monday night. And then
what's going to happen with that then? What?
Basically, it's just trying to have the stadium as empty as possible.
At what, a certain minute or just not
No,
going?
just
or?
not going.
Wow, okay.
Not going.
Okay.
So really and Sullivan's trying to counter this. He's offering kids for £1. He's offering £15 tickets for like tier 1 or whatever.
Wow.
Now I say this, all the plastics are going to go and fill the seats now. Like, I'm not saying West Ham fans, all the non-West Ham fans go, oh, that's cheap, I'll go there to watch. Knock yourselves out. But this is another problem we have, it's non-West Ham fans. And then we got another protest for the Burnley game. And that one, I have to tell you off camera, because it's not all official, we're still negotiating. The stuff they've got planned for that is going to make an impact.
Wow.
But it's all being done properly, officially, going through proper channels, getting permissions, linking with the police, and just making sure they know what's aware. So it's not no sort of guerrilla stuff like we're just going to go in and run and clash with police. It's all done properly. So he's a small man with a big ego, Sullivan, and that's the thing. It hurts him. He hates this, and I want him to be as miserable as possible. His fiance's a gold digger. He's on Twitter,
digging out West Ham fans,
questioning the size of our manhood. And
I
shit.
can't believe that, bro.
And
it is unbelievable that I've never seen anything like that.
They are so rattled right now. Honestly, this is the best time to do it, and there's been so many links with other ownership. The big thing is, not people think, oh, he won't go anywhere. He wants 800 mil for the club. What we need to do is make him bring that price down, because no one is going to pay that. But it's the time. The big thing for me, why I'm protesting, why I want him out, it's the stadium. We see Dill Hickinson, or whatever the fuck that stadium's called, right? But it's a proper stadium. This, I don't like it because it's corporate still, but it's a proper purpose-built football stadium. You lot seem to be all right with it.
Yours has got a track around it, and it's Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fit for purpose, your stadium.
Yeah,
and it is the worst away ground in the league. And I think you'll admit that. You've given up your season ticket, you're done.
Yeah.
Half of that is because of the actual way. I've been to Upton Park, and I never said it at the time, so I didn't want to blow smoke out your backsides, but it was an unbelievable ground. Yeah. The atmosphere was brilliant, the fans were brilliant, and it was a good ground. It was actually a good ground to go to. It was one I look forward to going to.
Yeah.
I don't look forward to go. I don't even go. I don't go to it. When it's West Ham away, I just watch it at home. I don't watch it. I just don't see the point. It's so bad. It's just soulless, home and away, no matter what end you're sitting. I went there for the Olympics. It was great. I saw Mo Farah. I saw all the other guys. It was great. But this isn't a football stadium, bruv. So, look, man, let's get to the game. Jarrod Bowen is the one I'm looking at, bruv. I think he is the most underrated Premier League player. I've said that to you before. I agree, stand by. I don't think there's anybody that I can't think comes close to that kind of term. I think he could be at a better club. I think you probably agree with that. I know that he's not going to leave because it looks like he loves the club, but he's the one I'm looking at. Am I foolish? Should I be looking at other players as well?
No, yeah, listen, he's the guy that will pop up with a goal, listen, he's been unbelievable. Bowen again versus second again. Same song.
I didn't think about that. That's fair.
Yeah, and you see the celebrations he was doing that because people have been questioning him as a captain. And I've had to defend him, because I've always said he leads by example. He goes out there, gives his all. and he's setting the standard.
Mm.
Like, and Bowen there, honestly, like now, obviously he's not the only one you should be watching. It's Somerville and Diouf, right? And this is where Bowen is being unlocked in a way.
Mm.
Whereas because Bowen, Diouf and Somerville was such a threat, like everything going down on the left, all the defence are looking and trying to stop Somerville. Diouf's there. He is unbelievable. His precision in terms of his crossing ability is crazy. Like the picture perfect cross, whips in, gets the Bowen. Once Bowen's got space, he's never missing. He's space in the box, bang. Like, and so obviously, Bowen is the guy that if anyone's going to score, you bet on him. But we have threats, and it's not just Bowen FC, like, oh, mark Bowen out the game, and then you're fine. No, if you mark Bowen out the game, Somerville is there. So it's either side. They're the players right now. And then it's just what he's going to do up top. Fulkrug. I would listen, I didn't want Wilson because of his injury records, but it'll fit Wilson. I'll take it. I'd put him up top, really and truly. And the good thing is, Wolfie told me that he don't get injuries, Nuno. His players don't get injured.
Wow.
So
well, if he can keep Callum Wilson fit, that'd be a miracle. Because that guy's always injured, man. But look, Callum Wilson's a threat when he's fit. Bowen's a good player. Paqueta can turn it on and off when he wants to. I'm a fan of Somerville. I actually liked him at Leeds. But I tell you what I'm a fan of. I don't know how to say his name. I don't know if it is Diouf or Diouf or what.
Yeah,
but
Diouf,
he looks very good, man. Left back, right?
Yeah.
He looks insane. I know we've got Saka, so obviously Saka's one of the best, right? But he still could cause us problems. I think he's a very good player, bruv. Very, very good player.
Yeah.
And I would be looking at that left-hand side because I think although Bowen is good on that right, I do think that left-hand side has got a togetherness partnership there with those two. So, look, our right-hand side is normally good, but we're seeing it.
Yeah, that is where the counter's going to come from us, is from the left, right? From Diouf. Diouf can, bomb it up there, get the ball, most of the way up the pitch, lay it off to Somerville. Then Somerville, he's rapid, and he's causing problems. He won the penalty against Forest. He can do that again, and he's a class. I've said it. I always said it from the moment when he got injured last season, and he featured little bits in Lopetegui, and Lopetegui for some reason wouldn't have him. I said, this guy's fit. He's going to be a massive player for us, and he come back, and he's shown it. He's shown how big he came back against Forest. That was his first game.
Mm-hmm.
So, him and Diouf, I think a lot is going to come down that side.
Yeah,
so it's going to be on Timber, right? Timber
and Saka, I imagine.
But
look, I've got to be honest, Arsenal, 6 games, been tough for us. It has. I know people might say that we make excuses, and we certainly have a section of the fan base that do, but we didn't have an easy start. Everyone laughed when our fixtures come out. They thought we'd pick up between 5 and 7 points. We've ended up getting 13 out of 18. We'd lost to Liverpool at Anfield by being a little bit too defensive for my liking, and I felt we were the same against City here, and we dropped points, but we've won all the other games. We've beaten Newcastle at St James's Park. We've beaten Man United at Old Trafford. We've beaten Leeds and Forest here. And obviously the other games are now the two I've mentioned, Liverpool and City. What have you made of us?
What have I made of Arsenal? Like, listen, a lot of it isn't to be unexpected. Like, all this, people expected 5, 7, whatever.
Did you?
No, listen, I knew there was a lot of games like that you would win. I knew there'd be games like we have seen past seasons where it may be a hard slog, but you'd get it over the line. I didn't think you'd win at Anfield. So that was definitely one I pinned down. But all the others, I thought there'd be that game, right? There's always that game where you're expected to win and you slip up.
Yeah.
Right? There'd be the odd one. That could be Palace. That could be us.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, if you're challenging for the league, you need to be doing this. You need to be picking up these wins.
Do you think 13 out of 18 is good for us to be within that bracket, or do you think that's over what we expected to get, about right, or maybe we should have got more? What are you saying?
No, I think ideally you want to be, this is going to be your year, you want to be getting more. However, it's not a bad return.
No,
it's not like for you guys, you need to try and just stay within touching distance enough and hope that this blip that Liverpool are going through lasts a long time and they don't then just run away with it. What's his name? Verts don't just click and it just goes off for him and things like that. So that's going to be an interesting one. And then for you guys, that you can, really just build up some momentum. It's going to be very interesting in terms of obviously balancing Champions League and the league. You've got some injuries. You seem to be picking up. There was that season where you barely got any
Yeah,
injuries. Like
yeah.
everyone's going, what happened?
And
You're
last
like,
season we got loads. This season
yeah.
we're getting a few. The difference this season though, Lawless, is we can actually deal with them now. Because Saliba goes out, we've got Mosquera. If Saka goes out, we've got Noni. Noni's now gone out, Saka's back. We've got Ben White and Timber. We've got Calafiori and Lewis Skelly. There's literally 2 men for each position now.
That Mosquera though, I think it was the
Yeah.
Newcastle game though.
Yeah, he struggled with the pass back, yeah.
Yeah,
But he's been brilliant though. For the rest of the season, that's the only mistake he's made on an Arsenal shirt. And it surprised a lot of people because no one knew who he was. And he's been excellent for us. So I think that the quality, that the drop-off is less now than it was like when we had Saka out. We had to put Fabio Vieira in, right?
Yeah.
Now we've got Noni Madueke, we've got Eza, we've got Erdegaard, we've got Trossard, Martinelli, Havertz, Jesus, who backing up Gyökeres. Obviously in the middle, we've got Rice, Supermendy, Norgard. There's kind of... There's no excuses.
That's exactly. There's no excuses. Well, there's you know, Arsenal fans will find one. The ref, it's the ref, isn't it? It's
ref
gonna
and
be
red
the ref.
cards, bro. Red and
Yeah.
VAR. You know what I'm saying?
It's all the refs. It's so funny. Shout out to Igal, but I see like he was like people because he was moaning about the ref against Newcastle, and people posting clips of him going, "I'm not going to be moaning about the refs. I can't moan about the refs this season. It's not happening."
Oh, they will always find something to moan about,
Yeah.
right? But look, I think you and I are aligned on Arsenal. We might not always see eye to eye with certain football debates, but I think we both know this is the season he's got to win, right?
Yeah, 100%. This it has to be the season, because again, it's like I was saying with Moyes, like it's like sacking Arteta isn't saying you've been a shit manager the whole time, you've done a horrendous job, you're shit, get out. But it's time to go, well, do you know what? You've done a good job to get us to this point. We need to now, while you've built this, what we've built, and it's stable, to give it someone else to take on and then see if they can take it over. Like, otherwise, because you're just going to just keep in that cycle. And then it's going to get to that point where it does regress and it does fall apart. And then he does have to get sacked. It happens. Like, you're not going to be like, keep it the same and you're just going to be second, and then eventually maybe you win the league or whenever. It happens in football, right? So to me, that makes sense. Now there'll be some Arsenal fans who go, "Oh well, rival says we should sack Arteta." Well, that shows you how good he is. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm just giving you my opinion. Do you think they're going to sack Arteta because Dan Lawless says so? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you want him to stay, don't you? Because then that means Arsenal, you don't think they're going to win anything,
Yeah, because
right?
obviously the fear is that then you go and now.
Okay, Luis Enrique.
Yeah, you could really go out and get like a top class manager that wants to take on that project that sees right now, wow, okay, this is the squad I've got. Yeah, I want some of that. I can do something with that.
Okay.
Like, this is the best time to do that, because then
Because the squad's there.
Yeah, because then if it does regress under Arteta, which it can regress under any manager, and then you are in that situation where you go down, you finish 5th or whatever, and then you sack him or whatever, then someone's got to come in and, oh, it's the Europa League, oh, this player's leaving, that player's leaving, oh, that squad's not looking as attractive. Like, you're the most attractive you'll be outside of winning the league right now. So.
Okay. No, look, I agree. I think this is the last year that I'm going to be seeing Mikel Arteta if he doesn't win something. But that's all on ownership. At the moment, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about winning every single game. Obviously, we've got the Champions League that we're back in. That's now upcoming and ongoing. But West Ham is the game this weekend that we're looking forward to. Who's the threat for us, man? Who are you looking at?
Gabriel.
Okay.
It's Gabriel, mate. He's the one. Honestly, that
Beast.
guy. Yeah, like, honestly, embarrassing his diving the other day. But
Made up for it.
In terms of an attacking threat, your centre-back is your biggest
He's
attacking
wild.
threat.
He's a monster, bro.
And for us, especially because we are so horrendous at set pieces, you know, he's the one I'm worried about. Like, under Potter, he could have probably got a double hat-trick, like, with the way how bad we'd been under set pieces. So I'm really hoping that we improve on the set pieces for this one, because yeah, he's a threat. You've got a few other players that can score on the set pieces, but he's the one massively I'd be worried about. And then other than that, yeah, Saka.
Okay.
Saka. I think, you know, Gyökeres, he could definitely score against us, but it's shown that you cut off the supply line, he struggles. You know what I mean? He's not going to make anything happen on his own. Like, he needs to be constantly fed. So in terms of players, I would say Saka obviously up front, and then Gabriel on the set pieces.
That's fair. No bangers from Declan Rice in the top corner. No free kicks like Real Madrid. Nothing like that.
Yeah,
no.
but you know what? Like, and that's the thing. A lot of the times, like last game we played here,
Yeah,
he shit
poor.
the bed again.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
poor.
like,
It was the only game he's had against you that was half decent was the one we battered you in 6-0 where he scored the screamer.
and that was
he's been poor.
and that was the 6th goal anyway, so the game was done.
Well,
so
it was to be fair, but it was still a banger. But look, let's get a score
Yeah, you
prediction.
freaking knee sliding, weren't you?
I loved it, man. I
Yeah,
loved that.
I
That was
know,
what I
man.
wanted to see, man. Him scoring. But what are you saying for predictions, man? I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. I think we're gonna beat you 2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think you'll find it hard to score. I'm not saying you won't, but Bowen is always a threat. But I think we'll have too much for you, and I think our defence will keep you out. So I'm gonna go 2-0 to Arsenal.
I'm gonna say 1-1.
Okay.
I say we score first, probably through Bowen, and then we hold on for quite a while, and then you eventually get the corner and score late in the game. And yeah, which I would take. I would take that. We could win. We've won before. Strange things happen. We could lose 4-0. You know what I mean? It's one of them fixtures. Just expect the unexpected. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. The amount of past 2 seasons where I come here thinking, oh God, like, this is going to be a drubbing, and we won the game. So hopefully Nuno can really have that time to prepare now. But again, the set pieces, it's a cheat code. So anything can happen with that.
Let us know what you think in the comments section, people. Let us know what you think the score will be. What would your team selection be for this game? I'm gone 2-0. Lawless has gone very optimistic for a draw for West Ham. Make sure you do me a favour. Hit a like. Hit subscribe on this one. Make sure you're following Dan Lawless as well. West Ham Fan TV and @Lawless Live. And we will see you on the next one, people. Take care.